Don't take me out, coach. I could still race. Hold that thought. I know exactly what you all are thinking right now. Mr. Docket, what are you doing? There wasn't a stock car crash in Cars 3. None of these racers were involved in a wreck except for Lightning McQueen. What's going on here? And let me present you with an alternative reality situation that I think is super intriguing to play out. So, at the beginning of Cars 1, we saw Chick Hicks cause a major crash by just hitting Winford, Bradford, Rutherford, the RPM racer. It caused nearly everyone behind him to get damaged in some way, shape, or form. Now, what if Jackson Storm did that when he came onto the scene at the Copper Canyon Speedway, where everyone else in the field were Cars 3 veteran stock cars? I think that's actually a really cool what-if situation to play out, because I could have totally seen him doing that, especially since we know he can play dirty based on the end of the movie when he slams Cruz against the wall. But anyways, guys, welcome back to another Mr. Docket production. I am very excited about this one that I have been working toward and trying to get out to you guys for months. And honestly, this video as a whole has been in production in some way for over 1 year. And that is, a review of about half of the Cars 3 veteran stock car fleet damaged, involved in some sort of crash, imaginary wreck, race that happened prior to Cars 3. However you want to rationalize it in your head, we're just going to have fun today, even though I guess this isn't necessarily canon to any of the movies except for Lightning McQueen. All these customs were done by Sensei Luminous. She has done a phenomenal job with a bunch of these damaged racers, whether it be the next gens that we did in 2022, the World Grand Prix racers we did in 2023, and then actually that was 2022, so both were in 2022, and now this is sneaking into the end of 2023. Next year, I intend to do a part 2 to the Cars 1 stock car fleet that I did long ago, about half of. It's the most popular video I've ever uploaded to YouTube with over 5.5 million views. So I kind of want to follow that up with the rest of that Cars 1 fleet that is absolutely canon. We saw them all get damaged. But yeah, guys, we're just going to have fun today. Check out Sensei's information to contact her if you're interested in any customs in the description below. But yeah, we're going to compare each of the racers here to their regular versions and see how badly they got messed up in this imaginary race. Now, I do have McQueen here, even though I did review him a few years ago, and of course, he is the only quote-unquote canon one, but I still wanted to briefly show him because he is a Cars 3 stock car by definition, and he is absolutely phenomenal. Just a beautiful custom that is super accurate to the movie. Got the eyes closed, got the mouth plate from Lightning McQueen with shovel. He's got the wheels from Finish Line Lightning McQueen there in the back because he does blow both of those in the movie. The spoilers coming off. Man, just one of my favorite customs in my collection, and I will leave the link to this review in the description below. I remember, I think I did in April, March or so of 2020. So yeah, very nice custom here that is almost unrecognizable from the original Rust-eze Lightning McQueen. So we're going to put him in the back now. Actually, he can chill on Stu's scatter shields back there. And we're going to just start at the top here with Bobby Swift, one of the main stock cars from Cars 3 that had some speaking lines in the movie and was pretty sad to see go. We don't even see him kind of retiring or getting fired. He just, McQueen hollers for him and he's not there. Now, Sensei gave Bobby an extremely intense impression or expression here. He is screaming in pain, it looks like. Now, I hate seeing our favorite characters in pain and all that stuff, but man, there's something about damaged cars that us fans of the movies just have a little bit of a fascination, maybe an infatuation, maybe an obsession with. They're just so cool to kind of see, especially for NASCAR fans. And you know what really started this all? Is Race Damage Mood Springs. We gotta give a shout out to Race Damage Mood Springs before we get into anyone else here. Back in 2010, even though we had already gotten Damage the King in 2009, Race Damage Mood Springs really set off the tone because he was just so unique, such an iconic scene from the movie, and a comical one at that, whereas the King was definitely a little bit darker in the way that he crashed. But yeah, I love the expression that we got going on here. The eyes were altered as well. Sensei used a Thailand version of Bobby, it appears. But yeah, let's see about the other detailing that we got on him, because Sensei made them all very, very unique. So you got a little bit of like a, looks like maybe a tire hits him, kind of like a black ring, some oil splatter, something definitely screwed up his side here. Just, I want you guys to appreciate the exquisite, intricate detailing that each of these racers have. Like every single grain of these cars was analyzed and made a decision upon what to do with it. Do we damage it? Do we leave it the same? Do we kind of paint it up or whatnot? And that is really what I admire about this. So I'm just going to kind of let you guys soak it in. There's not a whole lot of narration needed for when we're talking about damaged racers, right? Now on the side here, it looks like his front tire did get pretty messed up. Man, look at that. He really damaged himself. Probably slamming into the wall or somebody else. All that Lightyear text got wiped off. Some of the orange trim is gone as well. So yeah, it looks like the brunt of his damage is in this top left corner here. As you can see around the fender as well. Losing his contingency sponsors, cutting into the 19 there. Man, just look at that phenomenal detailing. Good stuff. It feels weird to be like, yep, he looks phenomenal, even though he is damaged. You know, it's just kind of a weird paradox. Moving on to another main character here in Cal Weathers. Kind of crazy seeing some of these more main characters damaged, but hey, they all had to be included. This one, I am loving the expression. It kind of reminds me of an expression we saw Cal with in the movie, actually, when he is getting, I think, pranked. He kind of looks like this. I just kind of like the flatter expression. Now, he took the brunt of his damage on the opposite corner. Looks like some sort of yellow car. Scraped up against his right side here and left some paint trading, swapping paint. Lightyear text rubbed off and a lot of damage up here, man. Rubbed down to the bone, the bare metal there. Wow, look at that. Sensei was able to like reshape the bumper, put a huge indent in that to mess up the curvature. He got slammed right there, and he is showing the effects of it. He doesn't have as much get up and go left in him as Bobby does with his expression. Yeah, I'm going to be very excited to take a look at the expressions for all these because they are so unique. Now, he does look almost perfect on this side until you get to the back there. A little bit torn up for sure. A little blackness there on the bumper as well. And this also appears to be the Thailand variant of Cal Weathers. We just tried to get whatever was most convenient to use for the custom. It's not like we chose all Thailand variants or all Chinese variants or all factory customs. It literally was whatever was most convenient. And so, I mean, if we tried to go with all Thailand or China, we wouldn't be able to because some of these cars were only made in one country. Actually, the batch we have now might have all been done in China. Actually, I think they all were because we only have a couple Thailands in here that I could see. So yeah, actually we could have probably done all these from China if we wanted to, but it really doesn't matter to me. Plus the Chinese version of like Speedy Comet's a little rare, Jimmy Cable's a little rare, so just made sense to go with the Thailand versions of those. But yeah, there is Cal Weathers. Definitely, yeah, he got some major denting up by his mouth and front bumper there. I love it. Great job by Sensei, and I'll be saying that a lot in this video. Here we have Dud Throttleman, so the follow-up to Race Damage Mood Springs, just in Cars 3 stock car form. Definitely got out of this crash a little bit better than Chuck Armstrong did in Cars 1, but yeah, he certainly still did not get out unscathed. Now, this is one of my favorite Cars 3 Piston Cup stock cars. I just love Mood Springs as a whole, and I think Dud has a phenomenal paint job, although I do wish he was a little darker in the front. The light blue around the mouth just feels a little weird to me. But either way, He does look phenomenal here, damaged, as weird as it is to say. Also taking a lot of denting around the mouth area, really accentuating that splitter. Like the splitter looks so much more pronounced or profound with the denting of the bumper there. But yeah, definitely took some beating along the front. He's just not looking too happy, but it could be worse. You know, you could be like Bobby Swift. All right, let's zoom in here a little bit more. A little damage here, a little on the tire, a little bit around the fender. Quite a bit here, a lot of scraping. Some scraping there in the back, some more worn off Lightyear text. Oh, look at this, guys. The spoiler took a little bit of a gnawing, man. How did Sensei do that? Like cut into the bottom half of the spoiler and kind of made it look like a hook. That's got to be tough to do because you're cutting into pretty solid metal there. It's not like you could just grab your scissors and cut right into this. No, you got to get out some heavy-duty tools in order to make that happen. So that's really impressive. Really happy to see that. But yeah, that looks awesome. You got to do some more unique things than just scraping up the sides. You got to, mess up the tires, mess up the spoilers, and obviously change the expressions. Now this side looks pretty good, aside from a little damage here and there. You got to be happy with what happened to, that side compared to what happened to his other side here, which, got all mangly. But yeah, really cool. We'll see which one of these ends up being my favorite, but I do really like this one a lot so far. All right, we're going to move on to one that I have been just dying to take a closer look at, and that is Todd Marcus, one of the more favorited Piston Cup racers, especially since he transitioned over from Cars 1 to Cars 3. It's the same guy, so I think that definitely helps out in his popularity. He's also in the Cars Fastest Lightning game, or I should say was, because that game is no longer around. But yeah, you have to really hand it to Sensei for being able to change up the expressions on these, because almost all of the Cars 3 stock cars are smiling, except for Ernie Gearson, the Spearmint racer. And so to change smiles into frowns, grimaces, and just squinching, whatever, of the clenching of the teeth and squinching of the eyes. There we go. It's impressive, right? I mean, you got to really manipulate the metal here in order to do that, sand it down, and Sensei did a great job with that. I love the expression that we have here on Todd. Kind of looked like he has a black eye there because of how closed it is. But yeah, another one that took a lot of force up in the front left corner here, just losing almost all the paint around the fender. Oh man, yeah, this tire has seen better days for sure. The 1, 2, 3 not looking so easy as 1, 2, 3 ABC. That was a bad joke. Some around the fender there. Pretty good on the roof. Spoiler looks good. Pretty good on the back. Looks unscathed for the most part. A little bit here, though, in this back corner. He also has got some paint swapping here. He's got a little bit of yellow and red that got smacked onto him. Really, really cool, guys. And while we have him out here, you know what I have to do now, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that looks so cool. Cool then and now moment for sure. I love Brian Sparks' expression, so why don't we move on to him? Been just kind of drooling over him. Another one that, you had to change the smile out for a frown. But I have to say, the eyes are what's really impressive here to me. Just kind of like a flat, blank stare. Like, he doesn't look that bad all around, but he's just like, man, like, why did this have to happen to me on this day? Like, I was doing good, and then I just had to get involved in this wreck. It's like, come on, man. That's the kind of face I'm seeing right now on him. Just like, dude, really? He also looks kind of mad, actually. Like, specifically mad at somebody in his pit crew for, like, maybe causing this. But this is the Thailand version of Brian Spark from 2021. Definitely more convenient to get than the 2018, I think, was it 2018 or 2019 launcher release? Somewhere around there. It's one of the two. He was released at the beginning of the year with Floyd Mulvihill in the launcher set. So a little paint swappage there at the front. So yeah, this guy probably made it out the best out of the ones that we've gone through so far. A A little bit of wear on the Lightyear text, but tires still seem to be, moving quite well. And I will make that distinction because some of these ones that we'll get to, the tires are not moving quite well. In fact, they aren't moving at all. But yeah, a little bit of damage here on the side. Looks like some green car rubbed up against him for sure there. But yeah, like I said, some red here in the back. Definitely this guy. Oh, some pink over here, man. This guy's just been bumping faces throughout the entire race. But yeah, wow. Looks like he probably got the better end of the stick for a lot of the racers that will be going through today. So good for Brian, right? I guess that's a win for him. Let's move on to Speedy Comet now, the Blinkr racer. I was about to say next gen there, but hey, that wouldn't be correct. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. I didn't even notice that before. I thought that was just black paint, but no, that is peering into the inside of him because the hood is cracked open. Not only does he have this incredible new expression, kind of clenching his teeth like we talked about, kind of breathing heavy too because his mouth is forming a little bit of a circular shape there. But let's take a look at this engine hood situation here because, like I said, it's got to be tough to cut through the metal like that, and Sensei has just done a phenomenal job. But yeah, you can see right through the car to my finger. Man, that must have been brutal. You must have like smacked something like head on here and then kind of like pushed the hood in and then caused the separation because some of it is missing and he's got a whole bunch of blackness over it. Man, took a beating. This side looks good, though, on the bright side. Almost perfect, actually. And this is the Thailand version of Vietnam version. Oh, that's interesting. The Vietnam version of Speedy Comet. Yeah, actually, he doesn't look that bad except for the front there. Yeah, see, Sensei Luminous kind of came up with his own story for all of these, and it's so fascinating. Like, you could definitely talk to him. I'm sure he'll be hanging around in the comments of this video, and you could ask him questions about how he did them or whatever, whatnot. Can you make some for me? That's a good question, because he'll say yes. And it's like, wow, oh man. The amount of thought that went into these is truly incredible. Like, the story for Speedy Comet here has to be like he hit something in the corner, maybe a little elevated, something kind of fell down onto him, and he just kind of spun out from there. You can see he's like squinching in that direction, but everything else on him is in good shape. Oh, this tire looks a little bit messed up here. You can see that the axle is a little wonky, and yeah, again, that fits the storyline here because all the damage, the center for impact was in this corner. So again, just great consistency. It's not like Sensei did that and then she, chose to screw up the axle in the back right or whatever. There's a lot of consistency here that I really do appreciate. Now moving on to Ralph Carlow, who's one of my least favorites in terms of Cars 3 stock cars, and Lil Torquey Pistons is just kind of one of my least favorite sponsors as a whole. But maybe this damaged Ralph Carlow can kind of get me excited because we've seen Ralph Carlow damaged before, I believe. Yeah, we have. One of the few racers that carried over from Cars 1 to Cars 3. And yeah, great expression here again, sanded down or like kind of engraved out the front to get rid of that silly old smile. And kind of, yeah, it looks like we have a black eye situation there. Super squinty. Lots of scrapage here on that front logo there. Man, that just looks intense. Some bad scraping. And oh yeah, the axles are super bent for this one. As you can see here, the tires pointing inwards. That's awesome. Yeah, see how he doesn't even really roll that well? Man, that's just so realistic. Oh wow, the scraping on this guy is to a next level. Wow. Oh my goodness, gross. Oh my goodness, someone took a bite out of his spoiler as well. That's tough. It looks like something kind of like hit him like here and there, just like whacked the spoiler and chipped off a piece of it. Yeah, the roof looks good there. Tire even messed up here in the back. Looks like this one's okay, but this one here in the back is not good. That's a Chinese version of Ralph, the only version they have done of the Cars 3 version. I don't know, when are they going to start making some of the Cars 3 stock cars from Thailand? That's the real question, guys. Like, they have not seemed to want to do that really at all since 2021 when they did do Brian Spark and Jimmy Cables, for example. But aside from that, they have kind of stayed away from the Cars 3 stock cars for whatever reason. Obviously, I have no idea. I don't think it's really much of an intentional decision. Maybe it is. Maybe they're just trying to like save a facet of the Cars Piston Cup realm for down the road. They could kind of reignite the love for it, because we almost have all the next gens from Thailand. We almost have all of, in fact, do we have all the next gens from Thailand? No, we don't have Steve Slick LePage. I think there might be another one. Obviously, we're very close to having all the Cars 3 stock cars from Thailand. We need like Ernie Gearson, Ryan Shields, Not Metallic, and Eugene Karbareski. Okay, so then they could close the books on both of those, but then you still have all of the Cars 3 stock cars to do from Thailand. So maybe they are actively saying like, hey, just push that off to like 2026 or so. So then we could kind of reignite the Piston Cup almost 10 years after the movie came out. I think that might be their plan, but that is just kind of a theory of mine, because it does seem like an odd choice to just avoid everyone. Even some of the more basic ones like Bobby Swift and Cal Weathers haven't gotten too many releases. And some of these other, like Tommy Highbanks here, one of the very first Cars 3 characters ever to be released, and he's not really seen the light of day at all. But this is one of my favorites and such an underrated racer as well. First off, love the expression we're working with here. A very kind of snarly, cranky expression out of Tommy. He looks pretty upset for getting banged up here. A lot of his damage coming in this corner here. Man, this tire is jacked up. Almost completely worn off in terms of the light year tax, and just kind of hanging on by a thread, it seems. A lot of the paint has worn off as well. Yeah, Tommy, yeah, he did not have a good day out there, although this side looks pretty good. But yeah, see, that's the realism I love about Sensei's customs, is that she does them in a very, like I said, just consistent, realistic way. It's not like you're going to have damage everywhere in every inch of the car, because that just doesn't make sense, because that just doesn't really happen in real life. Like, stuff happens, stuff makes impact, and then, you know, you move on from there. Now, speaking of damaged everywhere, Parker Brakeston probably got the worst of everyone here on the table. I mean, just look at that expression. He is about to go to sleep. Oh my God. Just like, what a bad day. Looks like just completely wrecked. The top of his spoilers just cut off cleanly. He's just rolling by the fumes of his back tires there, which even this back left one took a lot of force. This front one is just wedged up into the wheel well. This one also, man, he's had a rough day. This looks so cool though. Oh my God, is that weird? But man, this is so sick. Almost the entirety of that front hood decal is just gone. Pretty bad on this side. Nothing too crazy in the back corner there. The roof looks like someone just kind of like came over the top of him maybe. That would probably make sense, because maybe came over the front of him, and then that's how the spoiler got taken off as well, because it looks like a lot of the damage is aerial here, like on top. Oh my God, that looks rough. Parker, my condolences. This is a Thailand variant of him, by the way. Man, oh my God, it's kind of freaky to look at as well. I feel bad for the guy. All right, moving on to Jack DePost, another one of my bottom tier sponsors in my opinion. But Sensei did a good job about making him interesting. A nice expression there, kind of shouting. Got a little bit of a squinchy eye fever on the side that he got most of his damage. Looks like even the window got scraped up a little bit. But yeah, kind of similar to Parker. That front tire is severely impaired. And so is the side of him here with a lot of blue paint, a lot of just grime, a lot of asphalt that probably got taken up on top of him. Streak going across the side there. But overall, he actually didn't get it too bad. You know, we've seen worse for sure. Yeah, this is so fun, guys. I actually got the package of all these in like July, and I wanted to do it over the summer, but Like, Mattel just started releasing cars left and right, so many new cars, and I was like, all right, man, like, I gotta prioritize the new stuff because I know that that is time sensitive. Here we have Buck Bearingly, by the way. Whereas all these racers, you know, don't have that same urgency. Like, I could review them whenever they want or whenever I want, and they'll still be relevant because I'm the only one who has these customs, right? And it's just one of those more evergreen type videos, whereas, you know, the best time to release some of those reviews is when the cars come out into stores. And so that was just the common trend for months and months and months. You know, Mattel's releasing stuff. And I wanted this video to be kind of like a weekend video as well. I didn't want to drop it on a Tuesday. And now I know I am dropping it on a Thursday, but it is probably winter break for most of you guys, and I think it's a great time to drop it. Yeah, Buck Bearingly here also probably got out of it pretty good, and he seems like he likes the pain. You know, he's still smiling. And again, I remember Sensei told me about this one, and she explained how, like, she wanted to have Buck with a smile on him because, like, headcanon is that Buck kind of likes it, and I think it kind of relates maybe to JS Cars 8, like Buck Bearingly short film or whatever that was. I don't know. I love it still. And let's move on to Rex Revler, another one of my more least favorite Cars 3 stock cars, just because of how similar he is to Sage Vanderspin, who is one of my favorite Cars 1 stock cars. Kind of crazy how that works. But I will say this is one of my favorite expressions on some of these cars here. I think it would probably go, I like Brian Spark a lot. I like this one a lot. And yeah, we'll see how the rest of the ones pan out. But this looks really cool to me, with a just kind of sad frown, you know, nothing too vitriol about it, nothing too vicious, but just sad. You know, Rex is just sad. He gets misnamed a lot for Sage and vice versa, and now he was just involved in a wreck, so it happens. Yeah, some black stains here on this side, some paint swappage. But yeah, so finally, I figured this was a good time to release the video because, you know, winter break, a little slower in terms of new releases for cars. And I've been doing daily videos now since the start of the 12 days of Christmas, actually one day before that, just because I know a lot of people are off from school and work. And so it's just a really good time to, you know, chill out and watch some YouTube. And I want to take advantage of that. I also want to end 2023 on a really positive note. And I feel like by doing this video, I am kind of accomplishing that. Anyways, here we have Ernie Gearson, another one of the racers that carried over from cars 1 to 3, and one that you didn't have to change the expression for, because I believe Ernie is the only Cars 3 stock car who is not smiling, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, honestly, probably has one of the best expressions of the whole fleet. And so just had to change up the eyes up top. And obviously there was, you know, very good job doing that. But yeah, it's so crazy to think about, like, if you want to do custom Cars 3 stock cars damaged, you have to change the model somehow. Otherwise, you are not going to have success. You're not going to make legit looking customs if they're all still smiling when they're covered in grime and dirt and are kind of beat up, you know, if you will. So it's something you have to work around one way or the other. It looks like Ernie kind of got out of it. Not too bad, just some side damage for sure. Nothing on the top or the hood, so I'd say he made it out pretty good. Let's move on to Phil Tankson, the Nitro-Aid racer. I like this guy a lot, even though he's also pretty similar to Aiken Axler overall. And yeah, this expression's pretty wild, kind of chaotic, if you will, you know, just all over the place. He looks mad, he looks hurt, he looks violent almost. So probably going to stay away from this one. Going to try my best, and hopefully Phil Tankson here doesn't attack me in his sleep. Yeah, he's got, oh man, a little gnarly back there, down to the bare metal again. But yeah, he actually doesn't look that bad. Like, this side's pretty good. Just a little bit up here and a little bit back there. So I don't know what you're complaining about, Phil. I don't know why you look so mean, because if you look at everyone else, you actually got out of it pretty good. All right, moving on to Jimmy Cables here. So this is the Thailand variant of Jimmy, and I believe Sensei Luminous decided to take it upon herself to correct the color. Now, I know the one I have here is the Chinese version, but when Thailand did Jimmy Cables, it's not like they corrected her or corrected him to be the correct color in the movie. So yeah, actually, I am confident that Sensei changed the color to be a more accurate pink, like in the movie and on the artwork and all that, instead of the red that Mattel released her or him with from China and Thailand. So yeah, this looks really cool. I love the expression and the mouth there. And honestly, just the accurate color. Oh my goodness gracious. What on earth happened back here? I think this is the first time we've seen part of a tire just completely missing. You know, we've seen parts of spoilers missing, but yeah, part of this tire just got burned off, or it must have been burned off, or just something happened to it. It must have gone over something sharp, because yeah, that's a goner. But yeah, a lot of damage back here, almost completely unreadable for every decal. Yeah, it's too bad. Intersection, such a innocent sponsor. And this side looks good, right? Yeah, he does not look good overall. I love it though. It's what we're going for here. Yeah, I hate that Mattel has kept on doing Jimmy in the red. Hopefully next time they release him. I think this is our last one, guys. We have Brick Yardley here. Another one of the more main stock cars, so kind of surprising I didn't get to him earlier. But yeah, I think that's everyone. Let me just take a quick little look while you guys look here at Brick, because I don't want to miss anyone. Like, wouldn't that just be horrible? Because then they'd have to wait probably like 2 to 3 years until I do the part 2 to this video, because of course the part 2 to the Cars 1 stock car video has to come out. Part 2 to the next gen has to come out. We have to do damaged Blade Ranger, damaged Skipper, and we have to do maybe some damaged NASCAR racers like Gogo Logano. I'm talking maybe down the road. So it will be a while until we revisit the Cars 3 stock cars here. So yeah, I don't think I'm missing anyone though. But yeah, oh my God, Brick also has had a horrible run here. I love the expression first off, and I'm sure it's hurtful. It's painful to make any sort of mouth movement as Brick Yardley here, because part of your bumper is missing and leaving this tire completely exposed here, in which it did receive some damage. But yeah, man, that is awesome. Man, again, cutting through the metal. That is sharp too. Like, I would not like to step on that. Oh, that would hurt. Yeah, poor Brick took a lot of it to the front here. Everything else looks okay. The back looks good. Oh yeah, look at this side. It's like nearly perfect. Love it. I love the realism of it all. And also just getting paints that match the color, main color of the body, so that you could change up the eye expression. Really, really great job all around by Sensei Luminous. Let me know in the comment section below which of these is your favorite. My favorite, oh my goodness, guys, how do I make a determination? Let's rank them all real quick, shall we? Let's try and do a quick little ranking in terms of my favorites, even though I love them all. But, I don't know. I think overall, like, Brian Spark might have the best expression. So let's put him at 1. I'm going to go Jimmy Cables because I love the improved color. Both of those released last in 2021, coincidentally. I'm going to go then Todd Marcus. I just love him as it is. So seeing him damage is kind of cool. Plus, those two go hand in hand. I'm going to actually go Rex Revler. Another just great expression on that one. Then let's go Brick Yardley because of reasons we just discussed here. Let's then go to Cal Weathers. I just think he has another phenomenal expression and some really great damage detailing on him. I think after that, you kind of have to go Parker Brakeston just because of how you have to kind of give him some pity, right? Because of how badly and brutally he got injured in this imaginary race. I'm going to then go Speedy Comet here. Remember, that's the one with the cut up hood. Let's go then Ernie Gearson. I like Ernie. And let's go then Ralph Carlow. Let's go. Oh man, this is tough. Oh my God, I totally forgot about Dud Throttleman. Dud Throttleman would probably be a couple spots higher. Let's say Buck Bearingley. I like the smile on him. I would probably then go like these three at the back: Bobby Swift, Jack DePost, and Phil Tankson. But yeah, guys, you let me know in the comment section below. I really do appreciate it. Wait. Tommy Highbanks. Tommy Highbanks is in there somewhere as well. He's probably like mid-tier for me. But thanks, as always, for watching. Thank you, Sensei Luminous, for diving into the depths of hell in terms of creativity to make all of these just gruesome looking customs and yet making them look awesome at the same time. And I cannot wait for the next installment in this damage saga that we have going. Like I said, if it's not just like a single review on maybe Blade Ranger or Skipper like we did Dusty Crop Hopper in May of 2023, it will be the return to the Cars 1 stock car crash that is absolutely canon to the movie. So if that was an issue you had with this video, you won't have it next time. All right, guys, bye now.